Welcome to If I Ruled the World, and joining Jeremy Hardy in the red team tonight is Doon Mackichan, and with Graeme Garden on the blues, Mark Steele. So let's kick off with Soapbox and find out the team's views on a topical subject. This week, education. Now, Jeremy, is education still a priority for you?
Read my lips, Clive. There will be no selection in schools, apart from those schools which are already selective or which become selective.
I follow.
May I also say that we very much support the work of Ofsted, because if teachers are failing, and many of them are, the best job for a failed teacher is to become an Ofsted inspector.
Right. I see. Yes. Doon, do you support this aspect of your
Yes, I
policy?
do, but we're actually very worried about discipline in the party. We want to instigate a zero-tolerance option in the playgrounds. We want to introduce more traditional sort of deterrents, the stocks, the rack, thumb screws, dunking for girls particularly.
And for your own children, would you be sending them to state schools or non-selective schools?
I have been picked up for... my children are at school outside the borough.
Yes.
Gloucester's finishing school in Switzerland.
Yeah. Now, let's see, how do you react to that, Graeme?
Well, we do have a coherent policy in the Blue Party: private education, corporal punishment and Sergeant Bilko.
Can I just say something
Yes.
about fees here? It used to be we were the party of free education. And what that meant, there was a whole generation, there were thousands of young people from working-class backgrounds who were able to go to university for the first time in their family's history. Yeah. And what that meant was that a lot of our leaders were rather common, and that's why we've got rid of it.
I see. All right. Yeah. Well...
I think it's very important at this stage to emphasise the absolute necessity of insisting that children at a very young age learn about family values, and that is why everybody in my party insists that when their children, at an age as young as 5 years old, they should be told, piss off to boarding school and don't come back till you're 16.
What about this... this new policy of sending small children to school, nursery schools for everyone, nursery vouchers being abolished?
Well, we were going to do this with the vouchers, but we realised that people who hadn't bought enough petrol wouldn't be able to send their children.
Yeah. What about league tables? Are you in favour of this?
We are in favour of it because it's thanks to the league tables that Gosport County Primary School are meeting Manchester United in the next round.
Yes. Well, that's a pretty convincing argument. Let's go on to another round, though, a round called It's a Stick-Up, where we try and make sense of the political posters which are put up, usually to the bafflement of ordinary voters like ourselves. Now, Graeme and Mark, what's this one about? What are we supposed to learn from this?
Well, I mean, the obvious slogan would be Jimmy Hill, Jesus Christ.
Let's look at your poster, and what are we supposed to make of that? Is that man pregnant, or has he just been drinking?
No, our slogan is a six-pack is for drinking.
Yes.
Why bother to have 6 very clearly defined lumps on your stomach when you can just have one great big one?
Yes.
This is obviously a photo montage. It's a man's head superimposed onto Paul Gascoigne's body.
What do you make of this poster from your opponents?
Well, to me, clearly, this says nobody likes Labour.
Yes. Yes, well, I think that may be a convenient moment to test the water of our studio audience here. So if you think blue is doing better so far, vote blue. If you think red are doing better so far, then vote red, and do it now. Oh, and there we are, 53 points to blue, 47 to red. So, you're edging ahead.
No, I think it shows the public endorse our education policy to put us 34% ahead.
Good. Let's go on to the yes-no round, where we test out the politician's ability not to answer questions with a straight yes or no answer. If you do use the word yes or no, you'll hear this sound, and you'll be eliminated from the round. You understand that, don't you?
I understand entirely.
Jolly good. Do you think spin doctors are getting too powerful?
I think that question is in very poor taste, if you don't mind me saying so.
Do you need to speak to Alistair Campbell first?
I do not need to speak to him. I speak for myself.
Would you rather he had to answer these questions?
He is an entirely free individual. I have never met him, and I'm not entirely sure that he exists. He agrees with me entirely on
Isn't
that.
he your press spokesman?
Only in the sense of being my spokesman on the matter of the press.
But you say... Oh, well, there you went. You went past me. OK, that's... So, Graeme, do you think Deirdre from Coronation Street is innocent?
Well, Clive, this is a fictional character in a fictional
Is
soap
it?
opera. It is indeed.
You sure?
I'm absolutely positive.
But I think 50% of the people think it's a real character.
But 50% don't.
But do you think it's right for Parliament to spend its time talking about a fictional character when so many people languish in prisons unfairly anyway?
Yes, today... Well, let me finish. Yesterday, somebody asked me...
Do you think politicians are sometimes too clever for their own good?
No, never. Oh, this is preposterous. I never get a buzz from John Humphreys.
So Doon, have you been invited to Robin Cook's wedding?
I haven't had the pleasure.
Well, that's unusual. Can I move on to the Millennium Bug?
You can.
Are you worried about it?
I am.
Do you know what it is?
I do.
When's it going to come into place?
In the year 2000.
Is that really the Millennium, or was that 2001?
That is !*, who knows?
Do you... does technology rule our lives?
It does.
Our plane's going to crash.
They are.
Will my electric door opener be affected by the Millennium Bug?
It will. It'll go...
What?
Zap.
What does YES spell?
It spells... A word that's spelt backwards is C.
Mark, can I ask you about the pound?
Well, look, I think the public really want to know, this is what they really want to know in these days of law and order, is that this is a man who is a barrister, who has therefore defended people who are innocent, therefore he is the criminal's friend.
Well, not if I'm defending somebody who's innocent.
Oh, the liberal press can say whatever they like, but I've got only one thing to say. Deirdre, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
What about the pound? Do you think it's too high?
I think it's far too high.
Isn't it good for holidays?
It's exceptionally good for those people who have the time on their hands to go abroad, in which case they shouldn't be claiming benefit.
What about... do you want to go into the European currency?
I'm not exactly sure what the European currency is.
Shouldn't you know that?
I suppose I should, as Shadow Chancellor, but I don't know.
Isn't this a disgrace?
It is a disgrace. Yesterday, I bought something in
Did
Italy.
You?
Yes, when I was...
Yes. Oh. OK, well, that's it. Doon is the winner of that round. Well done. OK, let's do a round now called I Like to Keep in Touch. First, I'm going to test out Jeremy on catchphrases and sound bites. The questions based on that. You've got 90 seconds. See how many you get right, and your time starts now. Jeremy, who charmingly said, "Smack my bitch up"?
Peter Purvis.
I'm tempted to give you half a point there, but no, it was Prodigy. Complete the recently revised advertising slogan, revived advertising slogan, all because the lady loves...
Any chocolate at all.
Oh, no. What is the National Lottery catchphrase?
Tax the poor.
I'll give you a point for that, because I think you've made a good point. Could be you. Who said I'm king of the world?
Me.
Anybody else?
No.
No, we do. James Cameron was on winning an Oscar or several Oscars for Titanic. Complete the line, I get knocked down.
By a speeding police car.
I get up again. Whose catchphrase is feck, arse, drink, girls?
Valdunican.
Close enough. Father Jack. What is BT's slogan?
Make lengthy, needless calls.
That just got edged out by It's Good to Talk, so I can't give anything there. Who said show me the money?
Me.
You've answered that already. Jerry Maguire. Where might you hear he's a dog, kick him to the curb, girlfriend?
Puppy training school.
The Ricky Lake Show. Complete the Red Party slogan, things can only get...
Similar.